What up, y'all? It is finally NCAA Tournament time. It's March. It's bracket time, bracketology time, and the Auburn Tigers are in. That's what I'm talking about. I'm fired up. I'm very fired up, and it's not just because I've been drinking since 3 o'clock. I'm fired up because it's that time. It is that time of year where anything can happen. We've got brackets. We've got a team. We've got optimism. We've got reason to believe. The Auburn Tigers are going to be playing inside BJCC Arena against the hated Iowa Hawkeyes, a team that I have a relationship with, and it has not been good. Some of you who are from the Hobbiton days, let's see, the mayor of East Montgomery. I don't want to say his real name. I forgot what his handle is, but I'll know it in a minute. You guys remember when I used to vote in the AP poll in football, I used to technically maybe not rank Iowa as high as I should in football, and they let me know, and they gave me a lot of hell, and so my relationship with Iowa is not great, but we can. It's not a big deal. We'll work through it. What up, everybody? It's another Sunday. It's Selection Sunday, and the Auburn Tigers, which we have not been able to say a bunch of times in our lifetimes, are in the tournament. Remember now, Auburn, this has been kind of a disappointing season in a way, but Auburn getting into the tournament is a good thing, and that's a fun thing, and we should be stoked about that. This team is imperfect. That is fair to say. It's also a team that has some explosiveness and could get hot, in theory. They have some important pieces, like their point guard situation. They have a very good 5. They have a very good 4 when he is engaged. Sometimes they have a very good 3 when Al is playing, good ball. And then if KD gets hot at 2, suddenly they've got a pretty damn good basketball team. So let's go ahead and bounce over to our regular home here. I've already got the Iowa schedule queued up here. I do want to give some shout-outs, of course, to our early Super Chatters, including Pocket Watch. What an absolute stud this guy is. It says, beat the Hawkeyes. He knows. He hates corn. Maybe he loves corn, but he hates the corn pones. That's all I'm saying about that. Pocket Watch, I appreciate you, bro. I'm putting words in your mouth, and I apologize if you do like corn. I like corn too, but I don't necessarily like that kind. Cleveland Browns says, stay hydrated, drainers. I do have water here. He says, Beham, hell of a draw. That's exactly what I was thinking. That's what I put on the twatters. I think it's great. The Auburn Tigers having to play in Birmingham, which is basically going to be a home game for them. And you got to play Iowa, and then presumably you would play Houston in the second game. And the Houston Cougars are very good right now. And the story that matters to me when it comes to Auburn and Houston is Jarris Walker, the coveted recruit who chose Houston over Auburn, power forward there for the Houston Cougars, and an absolute stud. He's a dominator. He's a great player. Auburn knew he was a great player, and he ended up choosing Houston, which at the time I thought, why would you go to Houston? But I kind of get it now. They're really good. Let's see. We got a lot of legends here in the chat. Wow, so many. D. Lucky's here early today. We love D. Lucky as a finisher, but he also can open too. Somebody gave me a thumbs down, and you're a bad person. Your bad things are going to happen to you. I hope that you stub your foot. Hope you step on a Lego in the middle of the night and it hurts. I don't want you to get injured. I just want it to hurt for like 10 minutes, and you'll be fine. You just take an Advil, you'll be fine. Chip is in as well. Chip, of course, we're deep into planning the Lower Alabama get-together that we're going to have on April 22nd down in Orange Beach. For those of all of us that will be there, I'm looking forward to it. I know Ravine has pledged his... Ravine's going to be there. I'll just put it that way. And just that alone should be enough to get you guys interested in going down there. Ravine, of course, one of our outstanding brain drainers, and one time called in by proxy. It was wonderful. Jarrell's in the house as well. Turtle... who came up with the phrase, or I had never heard it before, a busted can of biscuits. Normally you'd think that sounds delicious, but the way that he used it on the show the other day, it probably wasn't as delicious as you would probably think. CDF jumping in. CDF's in a tough situation. He is 100% Auburn. He loves Auburn. He lives in Houston. He has to listen to people talking about the Cougars all the time. So if he gets not the good kind of Cougars, the bad kind of Cougars, and then if Auburn does get to that second game, they got to play the Cougars, now he finds himself in a difficult situation. He lives in enemy territory, and it could be tough. So that's the situation right there. I am drinking. I have already been drinking. We had a bourbon event here at the house today. I am currently drinking Peerless small batch, which is kind of like what I would call the regular red Peerless. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. It's one of my favorites. Some people say it's a little cinnamony. I don't really care if people think that about the bourbon because I think it's muy delicioso, and maybe I happen to like cinnamon. It might be my safe word with my wife. I don't know. Cinnamon. We'll just say. So that's what we're going to do. P. Beasley in the house as well. What's up, bro? It says time for Wendell to play his best basketball of his life. If you're going to do it, this is the time to do it. I'm just saying. Turnovers and rebounding will be the two most important stats for us against Iowa. That tends to be the thing, right? Auburn's rebounding is they were good for a while there, and then they had some rebounding issues, particularly bad in the Arkansas game, but in some of the other games as well. And yeah, I agree. It's going to be a thing. We're going to take a closer look at Iowa here from the statistical markers here in just a minute. And I've already got them queued up and stuff, so we're ready to go there. Solo Tigre says, what's that Peerless price? That's funny, first of all, Peerless price. Second of all, hard to find in the state of Alabama for reasons that I don't understand. If you're over in Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, it's everywhere. This bottle, I think, runs about $60. It could be 50-ish. I don't know. This is not like a super coveted bourbon. I have been to the distillery. It's in Louisville, excuse me. I've met Corky, who is the owner of this. He went to school with the Allman Brothers when they were in high school at a military academy. And look at here, one of my bourbon drinking buddies is here with me, Chris H. That is actually Denton's dad. Says, what's up, Jay? I was thinking that maybe you'd come up here. He was at the last check, he was in my house when I fired up the show, so we'll just see. Weeks 12. What up, Weeks? Says, JGT, thoughts on Wilderness Trail. Just picked up a bottle. I was actually drinking that earlier. Cuz, a.k.a. Chris Haynes, brought a bottle over today. I don't know which one it was, though, Cuz. I know it was Gray Label, but I don't know if that's what kind it is. I am a fan of Wilderness Trail. My problem with that particular bourbon, it is distilled and aged in Danville, Kentucky, which is Boyle County. Nobody really gives a shit. But first of all, that's where Neil is from, the former Troy coach. Neil, the names get away from me sometimes. Neil, the coach is at West Virginia now, used to be at Troy. He's from Danville. And that's also home to Center College, which was the arch rival of my Trancey Pioneers. And so my wife was playing field hockey for Trancey, and we would go to Center. It was like a grudge match. That's like the Iron Bowl, right? So I don't like Center, and therefore I don't like Danville, and therefore I kind of don't like Wilderness Trail. But I do like it. It's tasty. So I think that's a good pull, man. That's just my opinion, Weegs. I think that's a fine pull, actually. Let's see. Solo Tigre says, I won't be buying it. That's sad. Just glad you caught my UTK wide receiver joke. Outstanding. That's good. That's good. Chris M. This is Chris M. Yeah. This is the guy that you know as number 19, who's an absolute stud. He says, isn't every day in the Tate House a bourbon event? Wait a minute. Is that even true? I think it is. Also, Cuz jumps in with a super chat. What a stud. This guy, first of all, he brought over bourbon to my house today and encouraged me to drink as much as I wanted to, and then he also super chatted me. What a stud. And J-Dub is also watching. J-Dub couldn't be here at the event today due to children, due to offspring. But he is super chatting. J-Dub, thank you very much, sir. He says it's Neil Brown. Yes, thank you. Neil Brown, of course, is the former Troy coach now at West Virginia who grew up and went to school in Boyle County, Kentucky, where Wilderness Trail is distilled and aged. There you go. Also, Matt N was involved with that as well. He had Neil Brown on that too. So thank you guys. I've not had in the history of the Brain Drain, not had two of my homies super chat back to back. So that is a big deal for me. Let's see. Chip says, why did the Brian Harsin is the choice Brain Drain pop up on my recommendations when I signed in? I've got questions about that. That really says something about the things you're searching for on YouTube, bro. You're looking for pain, sacrifice. I don't want to go any deeper with that. That's all I'm going to say. Hot Dog Water says, Chip, it's a sign. Chip says he wants him back just so they can fire him all over again. All right, so looking at Iowa's schedule over here on the right. We know about Auburn's schedule. We don't have to really go too much into that. We know what's going on. Looks like Iowa, and guys, I know about as much about Iowa as you all do. Let's see. Chris says Vito E for Troy wants to come up. Everybody can. There's room. I mean, we can get you guys in, and we can get you in without when you guys come in the door, nobody even see you, so it'll be all good. Let's see. Decatur Tiger says must have been talking about Chip why he got the Hardashians YouTube suggestion. Said must have been all those episodes of the Hardashians you've watched. I really wish. God, I wish they did a show. I would watch it. I really do. I would do that for sure. Also, AU Taxman says he is one of the dozens. Our show usually hits 4,000 or 5,000 viewers, but maybe an hour, 2, 3 into it, we tend to trail off a little bit as we talk about things that are of even less newsy as we move along. We start talking about chicks and bourbon and all that stuff, and we get down to like literally dozens of viewers. But sometimes I think that's the best content we put out. That's just my opinion. Indeed. Oh, my phone's buzzing. And make sure that's not the administrative assistant. It is not. All right. As long as it's not administrative assistant, I'm good. Let's see what else we got going on here. Hot Dog Water is over here joking a little bit too. And AU 256, one of our favorite folks, of course, from the North Alabama area, says, can't believe we got Birmingham. We think in Session 1 fam about the snag tickets. I don't know the answer to that question, my man. That's a good question, though. It's a terrific draw for Auburn. I mean, Auburn's got the flaws that we all know about. Not a good shooting team. Tend to be a little sporadic rebounding, right? Like sometimes they're really good and sometimes they just don't even seem to try rebounding. A flawed team for sure, but also a team that has some interesting individual parts that are good. They have some championship parts. They just don't have a championship vehicle, so to speak. But you never know in March. Some weird things happen sometimes. Let's see. Turtle says, JGT, did you check out the Cordals? I did not. I ran out of time, and I was hoping to. If you want to send me a DM on the message board, that would help me. That would be helpful to me. But I didn't have a chance to see them. Okay, so Iowa, let's see. Kind of coming down the stretch there. I'm looking at that Purdue game. They lost to Purdue pretty bad, but Purdue's insanely good. Beat Minnesota, who's dog shit this year. Beat soundly a pretty good Ohio State team. Lost to Northwestern badly. That's a team that Auburn beat earlier in the season, but really struggled with. Beat Wisconsin, who's not been great this year. Then here to close out the regular season. No, I take it back. So they beat Michigan State in overtime. Beat Indiana. That's a game I watched a little bit. Indiana's kind of like schizophrenic like Auburn. They lost to Nebraska, which is a horrible loss. And they lost their first game to Ohio State in the Big Ten tournament. So this is a team that looks to me just kind of off the hoof. They're playing about like Auburn. I know Auburn has not won as many games here in the last month as Iowa has. And you could argue, I think, successfully the Big Ten's a slightly better league than the SEC is in basketball. But I don't know. Like to me, they're just a couple games better than Auburn. That's just kind of what I'm seeing off the hoof. It's one man's. Who we got in here? Oh, we got. What's up, Bill L?
I'll try the Peerless.
You want some Peerless?
Yeah, sure.
You want it now? Well, hell yeah, we'll do that. Have a seat, bro. We got Bill L, last name redacted, to protect his anonymity. Here, he's a Troy fan. Although, if you had to pick in the Auburn-Alabama rivalry, I think he would definitely be Alabama. But that's cool. We still like him. He paid good money, to send 2 daughters to Alabama, right?
Just one.
Just one, like I said, and so. Hey, he paid tuition there. Mm-hmm. If you're interested in talking, I don't know if you are or you're not. You can just grab that. That's what Courtney uses to talk on there. But you don't have to. I'm not saying anything about that. Chris H. wants to see the chicks we dig. It's the girls we adore, Chris. But we're willing to go with chicks we dig. That could be a verb that means different things to different people. Who knows? Let's see. Brandon T says Bruce says he thinks we'll play during the day, so session 1. Attaboy. That's what I'm talking about. So to me, Iowa looks like a team that's just like one game better than Auburn, maybe 2 games better. Let me switch over to a slightly different page here, and we will examine some other interesting numbers here. This is Iowa's Ken Palm like team identity type thing here. Gives you an idea of the way that they like to play. And I'm just kind of looking at this for the first time with you guys as well. Looks like their offensive efficiency is outstanding. They tend to run hot on offense. They move pretty quickly. Turnover percentage on offense is good. That means they keep turnovers low. That probably means they have a pretty senior-laden team. Usually an experienced team does that. Another thing that sticks out to me is when you look in the middle of that graphic where it says miscellaneous components on the defensive side, the three-point defense sucks, the two-point defense sucks, and their free throw defense sucks. But that's just kind of random. But this is a team that's got some defensive issues, no doubt. But it's also a team that shoots well from two-point. They probably have some length. In the post is what makes me think about that. And then looks like three-point shooting at 34.3 is like kind of like middle of the road. Auburn, as we know, is very bad at three-point shooting. So that'll be interesting. We just got a super chat from CJ Majors. What a stud this young man is. He's out there making his way in the world. And, yeah, what a stud. I happen to be a big fan of CJ. And also, oh, wow, Bill left. Looking forward to playing some Xbox with him as well. Some Warzone. It says mixed feelings about pulling Iowa. Interesting. I don't know. I mean, considering the fact that Auburn's a 10, right? That's not terrible. Or were they a 9? They were in that range. I think it might have been a 9. Anyway, CJ, I appreciate you, bro. Iowa's, I mean, they're pretty good, but they're not super good. The problem is that Houston, they're really good. Let's see what else really sticks out here about this Iowa team. Let's see. D1 experience is good. Bench is not a lot of bench minutes. They're 249th. There's like 360 teams, I guess, in Division I now, so that's on the lower end. Strength of schedule, pretty good, but you would expect that as a team that plays in the Big Ten. So, yeah, they move quickly on offense, and their defense is just kind of like basically ass, but not like totally, because they still win games. Now, we're going to take a look here at Iowa's. This, I believe, is going to be their attacking approach. These are the things that they like to do. This is from a statistical service that we use called Synergy. And first of all, I thank our subscribers at auburnsports.com because it makes us able to have this subscription because of you subscribing to auburnsports.com. So these are the things that they do on offense, the ways that they attack opposition. Most frequently is a spot-up shooting, which is very common for teams to use that as the number one thing, and they are average. PPP rank in the 40th percentile, not great. Transition buckets, they are absolute ass. We were talking earlier that they like to they have a kind of a hot tempo on offense, so they do push transition, but they're bad at it. It's kind of interesting. Pick and roll ball handler, which is something that Auburn used to use a lot of, particularly when they had Jared. Also, Samir was a master of the P&R ball handler machination. They're below average at 15th. They're in the 15th percentile of that particular type. Man, this is kind of sorted looking here, guys. Maybe this is their defense. You think this could be their defense? This doesn't look like a team right here that can score at all. Let me look. This might have been their defense. I was kind of hustling to get this stuff put together. So, all right, yeah. So let me go back on what I was saying. This is their offensive footprint. What we were looking at earlier was their defensive footprint, which, yeah, it made more sense. This makes more sense to me. This is Iowa's attacking AI here, essentially, for those of you who are into foot and stuff like that. This is what they do on offense. I'm sorry I messed up earlier. I should have done a little bit more work on that. So this is their offense. Spot-up shooting, good. Transition, good. Post-up, excellent. So we definitely have already surmised they've got some good length in the post. P&R ball handler, which is something that Auburn generally likes to use a lot of. That's their fourth most frequently used paradigm, and it's only average. It's rated as average. Cutters, pretty good at cutters, but they don't use it a lot. For Auburn, that's a rarely used technique there, and they don't use screens as much. And then stickbacks, they're good. Miscellaneous plays, which is usually out of bounds. They're very good at that. So interesting to see the stickbacks, though. 97th percentile on that. That's interesting. They must have a lot of length in the post. We'll have to take a look at that roster here in just a second. So, again, we'll try to remember this. Post up, they're really good. Offensive stickbacks, they're really good. And then miscellaneous, which is probably mostly out of bounds, they're really good at that. Also, solid shooters and solid in transition. Now, This is their defensive footprint. These are the things that they have to defend against. And you can see they've got some real issues here. A particular note is transition. They are very slow getting out in defensive transition. So this is something that Auburn's generally very good at. Auburn loves to push pace, and Iowa has a hard time getting back on defense in transition. So that's going to be an area of emphasis for Auburn, no doubt about it. Auburn's going to try to attack Iowa through the transition game. It looks like P&R ball handler defense is bad. Again, I don't know much about Iowa, but I'm looking at these statistics, what we've seen already, and it looks to me like this is going to be a forward-oriented team that has issues with their guards, both just scoring, although they seem like they're okay scoring, but defensively their guards just don't have it. Because if you had really good defensive guards, you would be better in transition and you would be good against P&R ball handler defense, and they're not good. Bad on cutters, bad on ISO. That's good news for Jalen, who's the ISO master. And then they're just kind of bad defending screens, bad on pick and roll man, which Auburn doesn't use much of now that Anthony's gone. DHOs are not good at, but Auburn doesn't use many of those. And then stickbacks, looks like they're decently defensively on that. Because, again, I think they have some length in the post. Sorry for that confusion there early on. Just for comparison's sake, this is Auburn's attacking AI, so to speak. So we're looking at Auburn now. This is what Auburn has been good at this year, and the way they attack people. Everybody at spot-up shooters are always the number one tactic for every team because you just go out there and you shoot, right? Auburn average rated at spot-up shooting. Transition is good, so that's going to be an area right there where Auburn's going to definitely feel like they've got an advantage. Push transition against a team that's bad in transition defense, right? Here's the thing that really probably tells the tale about this Auburn team is the pick-and-roll ball handler machination. Auburn is a high ball screen team. They have to be good at P&R ball handler, which means you've got to have a point guard that can shoot, a point guard that can get to the hole and finish, and you need a 2 and a 3 who can kind of come off of screens and get to the hole or score. That's where Auburn has trouble. Wen is kind of a streaky shooter, or he goes to the line and gets free throws. We know they have a big hole at 2, and then Al is kind of up and down. And he's not really a pick and roll guy anyway. He's more of an ISO or a three-point shooter guy. So I feel like when Auburn went to the Final Four in 2019, they were in like the 95 to higher percentile in P&R ball handler because they had Bryce, they had Samir, they had Jared, who were outstanding, just kind of handling pick and rolls. They don't have that right now. And so this team is kind of awkward. And we've known that all year. We've talked about on the show all year that Auburn missed on all of its major targets at 2. Terrence Shannon, Eric Stevenson, Julian Phillips, who plays at Tennessee now. Those were guys who would have helped them a lot, would have augmented what they do at pick and roll ball handler, and they just didn't. They missed on all of them. It happens sometimes. Auburn pretty good on cutters. Again, for those of you who just joined the show, we're looking at Auburn's attacking AI. This is the way Auburn attacks people. These are all the different kinds of play types that Auburn has run this year, attacking every team they've played. Gives you an idea now that we're 30 games in or whatever as to what this team is good at. So interesting to me, some of this stuff. Yeah, this is my first time seeing this data in probably a month. One thing that really sticks out to me is that every team, no matter who it is, spot-up shooting is like the number one thing they do. I mean, it's basketball. It's like saying you snap the ball in football. Yeah, no shit. But when you look at here, spot-up shooting, Auburn's rank is 2%. That means that they are they're a team that relies so little on spot-up shooting versus everybody else. And that makes sense because that's not really their thing. This team's flaw is shooting. They don't shoot well, but they do transition well. It's interesting. Auburn almost has more transition opportunities than they do spot-up shooting. It's crazy. Such an odd team. This is not the way BP usually rolls at all. Some other things that kind of look out interesting to me. Offensive putbacks, they rank good there, which is just kind of like average, I guess. ISO, they're ranked very good. Jalen Williams is a tremendous ISO guy. Really, really good. I'm surprised that Auburn has had 109 machinations off of DHO. I am. I'm surprised. That seems really, really high to me. I would have thought it would have been like 40. Pick and roll man, which is essentially just, this is going to be where you used to see with Anthony a lot. McLemore, he would set a screen and then kind of slide out for a three. Jared would come around the screen and then throw a cross back to Anthony for a three. That machination. Auburn doesn't do much of that. They could, I guess, with Jalen, but that's not really how they get Jalen open. All right, guys, I probably talked too long on this. Let's take a quick look at that stuff. Is just fascinating to me. We'll have Henry on a little bit later. Henry's he loves breaking down that kind of data. This is a look at Iowa's team, and I'm a little bit surprised at the height there. So Chris Murray is their star player, 6'8" power forward. Their center is 6'9". Small forward is 6'6", which is about what Auburn's got. I'm kind of seeing this stuff for the first time, too. Okay, so their power forward is their star player, but he's not a great three-point shooter. He's about like John I, really. And they don't have like that superstar three-point shooter either. If you look, everybody's pretty good. Like everybody's decent, but they don't have like a star three-point shooter. It looks like their best three-point shooter is DeSante Bowen. And he didn't play much. So, again, it's just kind of a team that they've got a bunch of solid three-point shooters. It's kind of like Auburn. Auburn has some solid guys. Just nothing great. By the way, I missed a couple things here in the Super Chats and also the chat. I know I've been going through a lot of data here. Stu Pup, who hits us every single show. This guy, unbelievable. I don't even know what to say about this guy, aside from the fact that he's an absolute stud. Says, honestly, couldn't have asked for a better seed placement combo. I'm expecting to get my heart ripped out. Yeah. But a Sweet 16 run is doable with this draw. I agree. I mean, it's just that maybe I'm respecting Houston more than everybody else. I think they are really good. And you've got such an interesting story there with Jarris, right? Jarris Walker, the outstanding power forward, freshman power forward for Houston, who Auburn tried so hard to get him. And it came down to Auburn and Houston, and he chose Houston. And I was like, oh, man. But it makes sense now, doesn't it? Tanner says, I'll bet my Auburn Sports subscription Wendell pulls up at the buzzer Thursday. That's probably a good bet, isn't it? He does like that. Corey W. in the house. What's up, brother? I see that Chris H. wants to know where was Corey on Friday night. Let's see. Corey says, I was only kid-free for dinner. Kids came home early from the baseball game. Yeah, that happens sometimes, bro. It was good. We had a good time, bro. It was a little quiet at the tipping point. It picked up Saturday night, that's for sure, Corey. But we represented well. There's no doubt. Let's see. Kanuman says, he's just trying to give some tips to young CJ. All right, very good, very good. I appreciate you, Kanuman. That's what I'm talking about. Casa DP, one of our all-time favorites from the greater Atlanta metro area. It says, yo, getting excited for the Leor Berman Invitational. He's going to hit some threes in this tournament, I'm telling you. Guarantee it. We were talking a little bit in our group chat. By the way, I'm drinking the Peerless tonight. Drinking that red Peerless. Kind of hard to find in Alabama, but for those of you who live in any other state, and Cassidy P over in Georgia, probably wouldn't have a hard time finding this. Very cinnamony. And the reason I like it is that it's a little bit harsh on the front end, like in a good way, and it just kind of it's lovably harsh, but a lot of cinnamon on this. I happen to like that. If you ever have their single barrel, it is really cinnamony if you want to ratchet that up a little bit. He gave me a new name, CJ says. Number 20. I'm quite fond of it. I can make that happen, bro. Just DM me. You know how to get to me. I'll be happy to do that for you. Hot Dog Water says, what's the prediction for how many wins now that we know where we'll be? Sheesh, man. I don't know about that, dude. I mean, we're happy about the draw, but at the same time, like, Auburn is just... I don't really know what to say about Auburn right now. Like, what do we say? I mean, we've been here all year. We know what time it is. What? I need the bracket. Can I please get a bracket? I just want to get a bracket so I can get Auburn's, breakdown here. Sorry, guys. I know this is scintillating right here. I'm trying to find a bracket so we can take a look at what Auburn's got, all the way out, Okay. Let me see if I can just take a screenshot of this bad boy and we can kind of blow it up and take a look at it. Let's put it right here. Yeah. All right. Let me kill this, and then we'll put the bracket up here. All right. So Auburn's got Iowa, obviously, in the first game. A team that's flawed. They look a lot like Auburn to me, honestly. When you look at the statistical markers, I mean, Auburn's probably a better defensive team. Iowa's probably a little bit better offensive. That's what I would think. Let's see. Brandon T jumps in, says 5:50 game officially on Thursday. All right, very good. Thank you for that. We'll note that. 5:50. Interesting. All right, cool. That's the exact same time Auburn was playing in the SEC tournament. That was a 6 o'clock tip. So Auburn's got to play Iowa. Then you got Houston. Then if you were to beat Houston, then you'd be looking at either Miami, Florida, Drake, Indiana, or Kent State. I mean, that's all doable right there. And then the power on the other side of that bracket is probably going to be Texas, right? A team that I think is kind of a paper tiger. They fired their coach mid-season. Interim took over, did a great job. He won his Conference Coach of the Year award. And they've been good. They've been really good here in the last, let's say, month. Yeah. Been pretty good. And they beat Kansas like a drum the other day. But they're not omnipotent. I mean, how many teams in this? Alabama's a problem. Houston's a problem. I happen to think Arizona is a problem. And you want to talk about the ultimate disrespect. Texas A&M is a 7 seed, guys, for real? Like, they finished second in the league in the regular season. They go to the finals, and, I mean, they got pushed around by Alabama. But, I mean, so they're second best to Alabama. But they're still a good team, man. And, look, we've talked on the show, like, I can't believe Auburn got swept by A&M because I swear I think Auburn's not much worse than A&M, but geez Louise, man. Our Stu says, just started watching. Any idea when the times will be announced? We've got it on here. Auburn's going to be playing at 5:50 on Thursday. 5:50. I'm assuming that's Central, bro. And we're on daylight as of today, so CDT. Henry P says, I might pick Texas to win it all. Interesting. They've certainly been hot, and they played some great ball in their league tournament there. I watched them yesterday. They've been really good. CJ said he's just getting started, man. He mostly knows softball, but he knows a little bit about basketball as well. Good stuff. Cassidy P says, Kansas or Gonzaga feel like the pick to win. Wow, Gonzaga finished second in their league. And he's thinking they might win the whole thing. I do not think that this is this is one of the really good Gonzaga teams. I don't think so. But if they end up winning it all, Casa DP, you have you already have my eternal respect, but I will continue to praise you for that. I mean, considering Auburn as a 9, that's a good draw. I mean, it is. I was not omnipotent by any stretch. Now Houston is a problem. But, I mean, other than that, like, you don't look at that and say, wow, that's rough. I mean, if they had Terrence Shannon, if they had Eric Stevenson, if they had the shooter at 2, you'd look at that and think, that's a damn fine draw. I still feel that way about it, but we'll see. Turtle says, don't forget you can fill out 25 brackets on ESPN. Wow, we're all fired up to do that. Midro, what's up, bro? He says Brian Harsin just picked Iowa. See what I did there? Outstanding. Let's see. CJ says I have a pretty good feeling Purdue wins it all. Edie is insane. He sure is. We watched him tonight playing Penn State, and he's 7'4", and he's like actually skilled and good. He's going to be such a bang in the ass in the NBA. Gavin 08 wants to know who plays after us on Thursday night. Brandon T, I don't know. You're my scheduled guru. I don't know if you had a chance to look at that and see who would be playing in the next game. hopefully he can jump in and let you know about that, Gavin. Let's see. R. Stu says the fact that the city of Birmingham is hosting is great, but what makes it even better is that both Alabama and Auburn are going to be in Birmingham. I hadn't thought about that. You're right. That's cool. Alabama, of course, got a number 1 seed today, and they've got a chance to play my mom's alma mater, Southeast Missouri State. I think they have to play. The Red Hawks have to play Texas A&M Commerce, I think, in the play-in game in Dayton. And I'm pretty fired up because I think I'm going to be able to go watch that game with my mom on Tuesday night, right? Is that right? She is a very, very casual SEMO fan, but she did go to school there and graduated from there, so I'm pretty fired up about it. Some of my other pet teams that I like to watch in the tournament, obviously I cheer against Duke at all times. You may have a Duke-Tennessee game in that second round, I think, which would be nobody wins. Everybody's a loser. I hope so. Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Thank you, Cleveland Brown. Also, our Stews got me straightened out there with the that's Southeast Missouri State's got to play in that Dayton game against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Thank you. Appreciate you guys jumping on that and getting me straight on that. I really do need the interns are not here tonight, so I'm kind of flying this bad boy solo. But we'll see how it goes. Cassidy Pieces playing the game in Birmingham is favorable for ankle bracelet monitoring range from Tuscaloosa. I get it. Let's joke about Alabama guys being murderers. I'm just saying they may end up being that. That may be proven in a court of law. All suspects are considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Chip says, I hope Miami gets dumped round 1. God, I'm 50 years old now. I grew up in a basketball family. My dad and my mom are Louisville people, and they liked Louisville basketball in the 80s when they were good. They won the national title in 80. I think they won it again in 86. And so I didn't pay much attention to football growing up. It was a basketball deal. And so I've been really into the NCAA tournament since the 80s, early 80s. And along the way, I have just picked up so many teams that I want to just kick in the fucking face just from the NCAA tournament, I mean, obviously you guys know how I feel about Duke. I hate them. I hate Georgia. I hate Tennessee. I curiously don't hate Alabama, though. I think it's because I have a lot of friends that went there, and I feel consternation about these people, but I don't hate Alabama. God, what other teams do I freaking hate? Miami, Florida, I hate. It's like a basketball thing. Football, I don't really care that much. We could just go through here all the teams that I hate. Like, I don't like Iowa. I don't like Miami. I hate Indiana. Like Texas A&M just pisses me off because I don't like Buzz at all. Penn State sucks. I hate them. Don't like Texas. Hate Kansas. Hate Arkansas. Don't like Illinois. Hate UConn. I mean, I don't know. Just like all through the years, man. Like if you're this old, like you're just like some way or another, these guys have pissed you off. Our Stu says Oral Roberts has a great chance to beat Miami. The ACC has been very disappointing. Oral Roberts, guys, seriously. I grew up in suburban Tulsa, Oklahoma when I was in high school. I lived like 2 miles from the ORU campus. I mean, I've been at camps at ORU. I've fucked around at ORU. We rappelled off the praying hands at ORU. Like, I've been there so many times. I would love to see ORU win. I do not hate Oral Roberts. I like them. I actually have an Oral Roberts shirt that I wear sometimes. They're the Golden Eagles. And if you remember, they had a really good run like 2 years ago, and a lot of those dudes are still there. I think their star player ended up going to Texas Tech, I think, but Abmas is still there. Like their point guard that was so good a couple years ago is still there, and they're good. From Tulsa, Oklahoma, by the way. I went to school with Oral Roberts' grandson. His name was John. John Nash was his name. His middle name was Oral, actually. O-R-A-L. Oh, Chip says screw New Mexico State. There's another team that I don't like. There's so many in basketball. Like, who gives a shit about New Mexico State in football? Nobody cares. But, like, basketball is like, they kick them right in the face, man. Charles Menifee asked about Gonzaga. I mean, if you're asking about if I hate them, like, I don't like them. I think Mark Few is a scumbag, but they're generally pretty good. I don't know. I feel like I was there when they started getting good, right? Like, maybe like 90, like early 90s, Gonzaga went from like just who the fuck is that to like pretty good. Henry Peace's ORU is nice. They also got that super tall Arkansas forward that only pops threes. Interesting. I didn't know that about ORU. That's why, Henry. That's why you're so good at this, man. I love that. And as our Stu says, there's always a lot of 12-5 drama. That's almost always one you're looking for, right? Where you're like, this is where some shit goes down right here. It's the 12-5 games. I personally prefer 15-2s, but it doesn't happen very often that Coppin State beats South Carolina. My man D in Atlanta says JGT loves oral. Roberts. Oh, why did you? How come I only got half a laugh on that? Thank you. Let's see. Turtle says JGT. Everyone Auburn. Everyone Auburn loves UMBC. 16 seed beat number 1 Virginia. Obviously, I mean. There's another team I hate. Virginia can kiss my ass. I hope they lose. I hope they lose before they even start. Hornatius, who concurrently like cheers for us and also cheers against us here at the Brain Drain, says dozens. We've got thousands of viewers, bro. We're doing great, man. Thank you, Hornatius. I know you've got a lot going on in your personal life. Like, I mean, I don't mean drama. I mean, like you've been doing softball this weekend, so appreciate you jumping in and watching the show a little bit when you're out softballing. Sound like there was some drama on the softball field yesterday. Softball diamond, I should say. Of course, Hornatius, his daughter, whose name we will not say on the show, to protect her anonymity. He's a very good softball player. And then Power Man also has a daughter who's approximately the same age in the approximate same location, and they were playing in a tournament. And there was some drama. I can tell you right now, as a daughter who used to play both travel soccer and softball parents are insane. I mean, soccer parents are bad, but softball parents are even crazier. Our Stu's asking if I'm going to host a bracket challenge. I am not, but I would imagine somebody is going to put one together for the bunker. I would imagine. Chris H, what's up, brother? That's Cuz right there. He says, John at the tipping point rocks. John the Fisherman, baby. Woo! Give it up for John, man. If you guys have been to the tipping point, you know John. He works there behind the bar, and he's an absolute stud. Corey W.'s been there a time or two. Okay, more than that. Yeah. But Corey says he definitely rocks. We love John. John the Fisherman. They call him John the Fisherman. I hope he's watching. He probably isn't. I wonder if he's a Bammer. He probably is, isn't he? Man, what a party we had last night at the tipping point, though. My God. It was absolutely off the chain last night. I was Ole Miss drunk. There was all kinds of shenanigans going down. I mean, it was just like fireworks on the 4th of July, I'm telling you. Cleveland Brown says, please give me North Carolina State over Creighton as a possible upset. No, I don't like the way NC State's been playing, bro. I don't know a ton about what Creighton's done in the last month. Obviously, you guys know that Trey Alexander's there, so I don't know how I feel. I'm kind of torn about that guy. Let's, yeah, I'm definitely torn on that guy. Let's see if I can get Henry on the horn. Henry would be a great guy to talk to at this point. Henry, of course, our intern, who loves basketball, who loves statistical analyses and things like that. He's just an absolute genius at that stuff. He's going to make a lot of money in his lifetime doing basketball stuff. So we'll give him a call and see what's going on with him. Let me bounce over to our main page here. Yeah, we'll do that. Hey, what up, Henri?
What's up? I am currently driving back to Auburn right now.
Yeah, are you like in an area that has some good cell service or not?
I got 4 bars right now.
I mean, like approximately where are you at?
That's a good question. Let's see. I'm in West Monroe.
West Monroe. Hey, I got a bone to pick with you, bro.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I told Dark Web that I was going to hook her up, well, her and your dad, with some quality bourbon, right, and you didn't get it from me.
Where was I supposed to get it, though?
Me? Why didn't you? I didn't know that you were leaving for Texas, so you should have told me so I could get it to you, so you get it to Dark Web.
Well, I am going back in 2-ish weeks for Easter.
God, that seems like a long. You're going to go right back 2 weeks from now?
That's the plan.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I need to get some of that. I'm gonna get you something. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
We want to get dark web straightened out on that. What? By the way, what were you doing? You looked like you were in like a formal outfit last night. What's going on?
Yeah. So my cousin got married yesterday.
Oh, word. Okay.
And yeah, they had an open bar.
Yeah, Henry sent us a picture of him drinking with his mom, dark web, and it was a nice family moment.
It was.
All right, thoughts on this draw? The Auburn Tigers taking on the Iowa Hawkeyes, Henry.
So I need to watch more Iowa, which is a really nasty sentence in and of itself.
Yes,
but
it is.
I started looking at some synergy. So they are really good scoring around the rim. They were 87th percentile, and they average 1.24 points per possession. They are kind of an average jump shooting team. And overall, for adjusted efficiency on KenPom, they have the number 3 offense in the country. But their defense is
not good.
167, and they allow 1.23 points at the rim, which is very bad. They're interesting because their whole rotation is between the height of 6'3" to 6'9".
Yeah,
kind of like what Arkansas did.
Yeah, when I looked at their statistical footprint, Henry, I thought they were going to be really tall, but they're not really.
They're not.
They're just good
there's
scoring.
No guards, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they get to the rim quite well. I got to go watch them, see how they do that.
All right.
But you would think that favors Auburn, wouldn't you? I mean, if they're bad around the rim, that's what Auburn likes to do. They like to get to the rim, and it has Janai Broome, who is a very, not Walker Kessler, but a very good rim protector.
Yeah, he is. One thing that stuck out to me, Henry, when I was looking at Iowa has a specific defensive problem. Their transition defense is absolute ass. And Auburn's transition offense is pretty good. So that's going to be an area I think to watch, yeah.
Yeah, and some of Auburn's biggest wins, they've just really got out and ran.
Yeah,
and that's what they kind of tried to emphasize with Lynn Green recently, like, hey, get the ball and run.
Yeah. The problem, Henry, is that you're kind of hard to understand because you're in the car and everything, but I know you're doing a hell of a job, and we appreciate you, bro.
So I'm definitely trying. The Louisiana roads are tough.
Yeah, I know. It's tough when you're down there. It's a scary area. I hope you get through that safely, brother.
I will.
All right.
I've done it a few times.
All right, we'll look forward to hearing more from you on the rundown on Tuesday, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, see you, man.
Yeah.
Bye. There he is, Henry. Normally, I would like to have Henry on longer, but I couldn't hear him very well. So, if I can't hear him well, you guys probably almost certainly can't hear him very well. So that's the deal. Sam H says, what do they allow? Let me go back over here, bro. Let me kill this out real quick. We'll take a look at there. I'll know pretty quick if this is their offense or their defense. Man, I'm not sure. I should have labeled these better. Yeah, I definitely should have labeled these better. Yeah, this is going to be their attacking right here. This is Iowa's from Synergy Sports. It's a database that we pay for at auburnsports.com. This is what they do on offense. And I thought based on this statistical profile, they would be really good. They would be really tall, I should say, in the paint. But they're not. I mean, they're not small in the paint, but they 6'9" center, 6'8" power forward, 6. What's up, cousin? What have you got here?
You'll be pleased.
I'll be pleased. Okay, I've been given a mystery bourbon here. Looks very dark, cuz.
Yes.
You want to get on the... Do you want to talk a little bit, or?
I'm good.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. It's just like I'm being put on the spot here. Oh, god damn. That's very oaky, cuz.
It's one of your favorites.
It's very oaky.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like I'm under pressure here, cousin. Is it Parker's?
Yes.
It is. It's Parker's. We're cracking into it again? It's half yours, so. Oh, do we have any girls here yet?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Is Bill gone?
Yes.
So it's just, is it you and Tommy?
Yeah, and Denton has showed up.
Denton has shown up. Okay, great. Thank you for bringing me this little care package, bro.
I try.
Well, you didn't just try, you did a great job. So thank you.
I do my best.
I'm gonna be down there in a minute, probably. We've got dozens of viewers. Sam H says they have a 6'9" center. Oh, yeah. I don't think their center was particularly large. When I was looking at this statistical marker again, I thought this was going to be a very tall team. Particularly when they're in such a high, 97th percentile on the offensive putbacks, stickbacks. And the miscellaneous plays is usually like out of bounds stuff, where Auburn's almost always really good at that, and they're good this year again. This just looks like a team that's just very forward oriented. Sam was asking about that roster. So here, these are the top players they have right here. And you can see Chris Murray. I'm just going to block myself. I don't give a shit. Chris Murray's their power forward, 6'8", and their center is 6'9", so that's not super big at all. And Janai, at least physically, shouldn't have a ton of problems with that. And then their shooting guard is pretty good. But if you look at their three-point shooting numbers, which is all the way to the right here, everybody's solid. Everybody's in the 33 to 36% range. But nobody's like, when I say nobody, I mean like, you start to get scared of guys who are over 40%, right? That's like Jared and Bryce back in the day. Samir was in that range. Auburn doesn't have anybody like that now. So it's kind of a team you got to keep an eye on. But they don't shoot a tremendous number of threes. Chris Murray does. 186 shots from three-point range for a power forward is a lot. That's a whole hell of a lot. 34% is like not great either, but everybody else is kind of, with the exception of Sanford, just kind of shoots them when they're there. And they don't when they don't. No big deal. Aaron Eulis. Interesting. Their point guard. Not much of an offensive threat, but I wonder if that's Tyler Eulis's brother. Probably is, isn't it? Hornation says Denton. Also, CJ says Denton is great. CJ knows him personally because he partied with him here not too long ago. And again, guys, this schedule over here is Iowa's schedule. Crashed out pretty quick in the Big Ten Conference Tournament, but I mean, Auburn did the same thing in the SECs, and we're not super worried about it. So, Cuz brought me up some of this. This is Parker's Heritage Double Barreled. So this is their 2022 expression, named after their former CEO who died of ALS a few years ago. And so the Parker's Heritage brand out of Heaven Hill. A lot of that money goes toward ALS research. So, I mean, you're drinking for a good cause. Also, this is one of my top 5 favorite overall bourbons. Tremendous bourbon. It's very oaky, but I like it. And what I love about it most is just the burn that it gives you. It's like it's a consistent burn, not super harsh, but like something that's really gotten to me as far as bourbon here in the last, 6 months or so is like the soft bourbons that are just like really weak on the front end. Like Basil Hayden, like Michter's, like Jefferson's. Like I just can't get into that anymore. I have a hard time with that. Newman jumps in with a super chat. This guy, I mean, there's no stopping this guy. He's an absolute stud, and we love him here so much. He says BMAT's mentorship of Henry is extremely obvious. BMAT, of course, who does a tremendous job working with all of our young reporters. We have had a bunch through the years. In fact, I was just communicating with one of our former interns who's, you guys may know him as George. I know him as Jorge. He is now the baseball SID at Auburn. He's like the publicist for the baseball team, and George Nunnally. He's from Louisville. He was our intern maybe 10, 12 years ago. I was trying to work with him. He had a particular bourbon bottle that he was interested in. He is of age. And I finally was able to source one for him, and I have already bought it for him. So I was letting him know that he had been looking for that for a while. We love our former interns. I was checking in on Allie a couple weeks ago to see how she was doing as well. You guys remember Alexandra and Jorge are two of our favorites, but Henry is our current one. Also, Christian Clemente, who went on to be a staffer here, and now he's over at Auburn Undercover. We're very proud of him. Nate King also was an intern here, gone over to Auburn Undercover, done a great job over there. Listen, guys, There have been some people that have messaged me and said, JG, it's a shame that you lose all of your good people to other sites. They say that in a way to kind of denigrate me. And I mean, I want our interns to come here and get better. And they have. I mean, Christian got better here. Most of the credit goes to Christian on that because he's a good kid and he works hard. He's industrious. Nate King's just got this ability to write. He's just really good. They get a lot of credit because they care about themselves individually as a career-minded person. But I feel like if I pick great interns and we help make them better and we give them a platform to get better and they get better, like that's not a negative on me. That's a positive on me. That's a positive on BMAT. I'm proud of those guys. And even though they work for the competition now because we only have so many spots here, I mean, I'm proud of them. So it's not a good way to dig at me. If you want to dig at me for being cross-eyed or having stupid hair or whatever, that's totally reasonable. But saying, hey, man, all your interns keep leaving for better jobs, I'm like, that's what they're supposed to do, and I'm happy for them. I hope they make $1 billion. Like, seriously. I mean, I really, really want Nate and, I mean, George is in a different career path, but, like, I want Christian to be awesome. I'm stoked to see where he is in 10 years, Because in 15 years, I'm not going to be doing this anymore. I'm going to be too old. Probably won't even... You guys know I struggle with names as it is. Like, who knows what happens, But they're still going to be going great, and I'm going to be proud as hell of them. I'm really, really proud of them. Like, honestly. Like, I remember when Christian started, and he needed help. And now he's doing great. Like, I'm so stoked for him. That's one of the great things about this job, man. That's one of the most satisfying things about being the commander or the Commodore at auburnsports.com is being able to help young people move forward. Honestly, that's all I can do. I mean, that's the best thing I can do. And for people to rag on me for that is just like so stupid. It's like exactly what I'm trying to accomplish. Let's see. Howard says not trying to get ahead of myself, but Howard, you used to have a different name, didn't you? You had a different screen name on here because I remember that GIF. But one of Houston's best guards has a groin injury. He does. I think it's Sasser, right? Went out of his conference tournament with an injury. Houston, by the way, in Ken Palm is the number 1 overall team. Marcus Sasser, yeah. He's been there all 4 years now. And he went out of their conference tournament with an injury, and then they lost to Memphis. And he's a shooting guard, 6'2" shooting guard. 39% from 3. Yeah, he's pretty good. I'm taking a look at this Houston team. Let me go ahead and get this screenshotted so we can take a look at Houston. I'm not trying to say that Iowa sucks and Auburn's going to win that game, obviously. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying let's take a look at Houston just for shits and gigs, Because if Auburn beats Iowa, we'll just be doing this again. Let me go over here to this page, and then we'll pull it up here. So we're taking a look here at Houston. This is the Houston team, and I'm telling you, it stings me to see Jarris Walker out there. Oh, God, it stings me. I thought he was going to go to Auburn. Jarris Walker, of course, a young man who chose between Auburn and Houston at the end and picked Houston. Look at that, 35% as a power forward, 53% from the floor, from 2. Holy shit, man. 61% at the line. That ain't great, but it ain't Devin. I'm sorry, it ain't Dylan. Oh, he's playing center for them. I thought he was a power forward. Auburn wouldn't play him as a stretch 4. But 6'8" center. Damn. You can kind of see why they're good, though, man. They got 3-point shooting. They got 2-point shooting. Marcus Sasser's an absolute stud. Man, that's a team right there. But again, we got Iowa first, so we'll worry about that later. Pocket Watch says Big Daddy J, BDJ, Commodore BDJ, Big Daddy J. By the way, my wife is home now. We had a situation going on tonight where Courtney and a lot of the girls went over to Tipping Point for mimosas today, and then the guys stayed here to drink bourbon. So we were kind of like doing guys, girls. But I can hear Courtney. It's amazing. I can hear her next door. She projects her voice well, so we're glad to have her home. Uh-oh, I know what that sound is. I can hear the footsteps coming up the stairs. Here it comes. Oh, that is not who I expected right there. 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 100% 1 It's Denton's mom is in the house. Are you gonna get on the mic?
If you would like.
I would be stoked about that. I feel like
Denton's mom with.
yeah, I know, but that's mine. It's not yours though. If you were bringing me some, I would be really stoked about
I
it.
was told to bring it upstairs.
What was there on the stairs?
Yep.
I wish we had a trust tree opportunity right here, Bex. I got things I'd like to tell you.
We can do that in a little bit.
Oh, we can. Becky, of course, one of Courtney's trusted confidants, and
Denton's mom.
probably my favorite all-time Bammer. Like, and Becky, to her credit, is a graduate of University of Alabama. So, which generally means, if you guys know what I'm talking about, Bammers, like the asshole Bammers, usually couldn't have even attempted to get in Alabama. The ones that actually went to Alabama, graduated from Alabama, are usually the ones that are like calm and rational and very easy to deal with, and that's what Denton's mom's like. Got a super chat coming through from CJ. Houston is a team that we can't beat, I don't think. CJ, I need you to have a better attitude about this. If you want to get on the show and you want to talk, what I would advise you to do is sit in that chair. I don't have a camera on. And then you grab that mic right there and you can just talk into the mic.
Where would you like me to put the ESG?
Anywhere that it fits. Just put it where it fits, Becky. We got a little laugh on that one. Also, Sam H is here. Sam H, a channel legend, as he should be. He says, JG, you're a great mentor for upcoming journalists. Something that might be rare nowadays. Appreciate all the work you do. Thank you, bro. I don't know what to say about that other than thank you for saying that. I care about our interns. I'm glad that we have an opportunity to have some here, and I'm proud of them. I don't care if they're at a competing website. I still love them, and I'm glad to see them doing well. We also had a super chat coming through. Becky, you might like this one from J Dub.
Uh-oh.
You may know him.
I'm here.
It says super chat for Denton's mom. Giving a full applause for that one. How are you?
Well.
Oh, you're good. You're well?
I'm very well.
Yes, Denton's mom is on the horn, so she's here on the mic, I should say.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Have you? I mentioned earlier that you guys, the girls, went out for mimosas earlier.
There were several that were consumed. Yes.
Yes, and you, yes. I believe at last count there were 3 bottles killed.
That was a long time ago.
How many are dead now?
Per the tab, 6, but I feel like 7 is the accurate assessment.
So maybe you guys got away with one?
It seems like it could have happened that way, yes.
Wow, okay. Interesting. Was my wife, did she cause any trouble?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
She kept the peace. All was well.
I do want to say that I think Cuz is...
Oh, he's lit.
Yeah, he's been drinking.
He's a Christmas tree, yes.
He really brought it tonight, though. I mean, he really brought it.
Did he now?
No, he did. He stepped up because we did Big Boy Bourbon tonight, Bex.
Oh, did you?
I don't feel like that's anti-women. I'm just saying Big Boy Bourbon.
No, understood.
And the softest bourbon we had was 127 proof.
Damn.
And he absolutely crushed all 4.
He claimed that he got 3 out of the 4 of the choices.
He definitely got 2.
He was able to pick. He said
2.
3 or 4.
I don't know about 4. He definitely didn't get 4 because the
No.
fourth
He said
one was
3
ass.
of the 4. He did not get all 4.
I think he got 3 out of 4. I think that's true. Now, I gave him some tips.
Yep.
I mean, I gave him some hints.
Just the tip?
Well, oh my goodness, Becky's.
I try.
I know what this means. When you start doing these jokes, I know where we're at. So who's the drunkest girl?
In the room or
no, I know
in
the
house?
drunkest girl in the room is in the house.
In the house?
Is everybody here?
Yeah. Well, Sonia and Courtney and I came back.
Yeah. Oh, Kim's not here.
Kim went home. Her husband came up to get her.
Yeah.
We tried to tell him to just hang out here with the rest of y'all, but
no, he was.
He came to get her, and they went on.
Was she lit?
Lit-ish, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She's pretty cool. Fat Crack just says, "You're the man, JGT." That is all. I don't really know, but
take it.
I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Sam H says Denton's mom sounds like baby daddy Billy's sister. Is that from the Righteous Gemstones? I don't know. I don't know who that is right away. I don't know who that is. CJ says, "Hey, Denton's mom." CJ, of course, is number 19's son.
Ah, well, hey, CJ.
Yeah, you know him.
Yes, I do.
Although CJ is his own person.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Let's see. Kanuman says Denton's mom Wait, what does this mean?
I don't know, but I'm scared.
Denton's mom is dirty? This is fantastic. She's not. She's like among the least dirty people I know, honestly. I'm glad to have you on the show here.
I appreciate that.
And Daniel Peace's uncle, Baby Billy, is what he meant. Baby Billy is definitely a character from the Righteous Gemstones. I haven't seen enough of that show to know who it is.
And as I'm just here, what are you drinking this evening, Mr. Tate?
Well, your husband brought up a special pour for me. This is the Parker's Heritage Double Barrel.
Nice.
This is the second time I've had it tonight.
Good choice.
Oh, it is. It's terrific.
It is good choice.
So we were drinking this earlier. Me and Chris knew what it was. And Bill did not know what it was. And he said, well, this is really good. Can I have a bottle? And me and Chris looked at each other and go, probably not.
You can try.
I said, why don't you go ahead and Google that? And he looks it up and he goes, holy shit, it's $1,000. I go, I don't know about that. But we don't have that at the ABC.
No. It is on the secondary market if you can get it on the front end. Not $1,000, but it is not an easy.
It's not an easy get.
It's not an easy get.
But $1,000 is a little high.
Yes.
Yeah. Corey Dub says, hi, Denton's mom. Chris and I were a little disappointed because Corey did not show up at the tipping point Friday night.
But he'll be back. He's been there before. He'll be there again.
There's no doubt.
Corey and Tori it's a good thing.
His wife's name is redacted because we don't.
Apologies.
It's just Corey and his wife.
Corey and his wife, and they'll be back.
I'm sure they will be.
Yes.
Yeah. We were hoping that they were going to be there Friday night, but as it worked out, Becky, they didn't have babysitting for all that.
Understood. They'll be back another night.
Isn't it wonderful, Becky, to have children that we don't have to babysit anymore?
It is.
It is nice.
It is nice.
It is. My daughter and Becky's son, Denton, as you guys know, former intern here, are the same age. They're essentially the same age. Mm-hmm. Maddie's a little bit older, like
6 weeks.
2 months older.
Yeah.
But it's wonderful having kids that operate on their own.
Absolutely.
It's very nice. You don't have to worry about them anymore.
You can send them out for errands.
Yeah, he could have helped me last night. Your boy needed a little bit of help, Becky.
I heard it was a show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Did you hear about the tea we got? Did you hear about a divorce coming?
I heard there was interesting information.
There was
interesting information.
Very interesting.
When you get downstairs later, you'll get additional information.
There's more.
Well, just additives.
Oh, to the previous tea? Mm-hmm. Did you get any new tea?
I don't know if it was new tea, but I mean just additional things.
Wow, this is exciting. Let's see. Ravine says, hello, maker of Denton. Oh, we'll give him a laugh on that one. Yes, Becky is, of course, Denton's mom. And we miss Denton. Denton left us right before the Iron Bowl. 2 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, last year.
He's on to bigger and better things.
He's on to things.
We love Denton. He's a fun guy for me to talk to. Yep. I like him. My criticism of Denton is that he likes Chelsea, and that is a terrible team to support.
You're an Arsenal dude, so.
No, I'm not.
You're a Man U.
I'm a Manchester City fan.
They have the pretty
United
coach.
Fan. Ma'am?
They have the pretty coach.
He looks a lot like the City coach, so if you like bald and thin, I think that's good.
No. Who am I thinking of then?
I don't know. Arsenal's coach is very handsome, Mikel Arteta.
That's the Arsenal coach. Is the pretty one.
I'm straight. I'm 100% straight, and he's very handsome.
He's the pretty one.
Well, see, Chip says, has Denton talked to a girl yet?
Yes.
He has? I wasn't sure. By the way, I've got something for Denton. I think I've got an angle on a girl for Denton. I do, and I'm willing. I mean, obviously, I'm here to help.
Absolutely.
But I haven't figured out a way to kind of, because this girl's like his age. Yeah, she's like 21, 22, and so I'm 50, and I don't know how to be like. And
not creepy, and you want to make the introduction.
How old are you? Like, what's your marital status? Well, I know she's not married, but like, do you have a boyfriend? Like, if I ask that, and she's like, why is a 50-year-old man asking me that? Like, that's concerning. I would be concerned.
Understood.
So I'm being very careful about how I'm doing this. Hot Dog Water says he's also a Chelsea fan. Pulisic for all. He'll be there like
another 6 weeks.
3 more weeks, yeah. Let's see. Blue Eagle says he's a Leeds fan. Oh my God.
Oh, on purpose?
Why are there Leeds fans?
On purpose?
I do have some Americans that play there, including Brendan Aronson, but
still. I
know, man, they're Wow. Okay, Blue Eagle, I appreciate you, bro. I'm glad you have an interest in soccer. That's good.
Football.
Football. Who's your favorite team, Becky?
Well, supporting the kid. I'm pro Chelsea. I'm Christian Pulisic all the way. Captain America.
Oh, you like Christian Pulisic?
Look, Captain America.
Well,
yes.
Maddie said he was ugly, so.
Oh.
She said that.
I have concerns.
Years ago.
I have concerns.
Yeah, I know. She may be more into Asian guys. I don't know. I'm just basing that on
she's a
anecdotal evidence. My daughter's longtime boyfriend's Asian, so he's American, but he's Asian American.
He's a lovely child.
You've never seen him tumble.
Tumble.
Yes, before he started dating Courtney, he taught tumbling at the gymnastics.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Now I knew him as a little tiny child when he and Denton and Maddie were all on soccer together.
Yes. He was the Taiwanese tumbler. Yes.
He has a twin. They were all on the same team.
He does have a twin, yeah. Austin, I believe. Yeah. Yes. Corey Deb says, I don't recognize these team names. Are we talking soccer now? Hey, now.
Football.
We won't talk about it too much more.
We'll get on with that.
And also, you mentioned Captain America, Christian Pulisic earlier. Daniel P. says Tyler Adams is the one true Captain America.
Oh.
How about that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I disagree with that. Justin C. says, do you watch any MLS? Big Atlanta United fan. We love Atlanta United. I can't name a single player for their team.
I have a cousin that's a season ticket holder for
oh, yeah, you have a cousin up there, don't you?
Mm-hmm. And apparently they went to Charlotte yesterday, and Atlanta bought out multiple sections.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Well, if Charlotte had a team when you lived there, would you have been a fan? When you lived near there?
I lived near there, and they actually started right after we moved back here.
Oh.
So we would have been in on that.
Interesting.
We went for the Premier League Comes to America year.
Obviously.
We went to go visit, but they did not have the Charlotte team there.
You're a big fan. Chip says he's closest to a Newcastle fan because I like their brown ale. we love Newcastle brown ale, of course.
Played.
And Cleveland Brown says Nashville SC rules. Of course, Mukhtar is the star at Nashville SC. Also, Walker Zimmerman plays there. So
lovely kid.
And look, we have a comment here from a Chris Haynes. You may know him.
Uh-oh.
He says A-Rocks. Who is A? What does that mean? A-Rocks?
I know who A-Rod is, but that's not a...
Oh, A-Rocks. I don't know what that means. But we still love Chris, don't we?
Absolutely.
He's great. He's a great neighbor. He's also, as Becky says in the group text, a great husband, too. So we got all that, too. Justin C. says we need to get a group up to go to an Atlanta United game. I would totally do that.
Totally.
AU Goat is a big-time Atlanta United fan and goes to games and all that kind of stuff. So, Justin C., if you were over there on the bunker and you see AU_GOAT, understand that he is a huge Atlanta United fan. He and his wife both. And then they're not just Atlanta United fans. They are soccer fans. They've been to Bayern Munich games and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
I got a picture of... Actually, yeah, he sent me a picture a long time ago of his, because I met his wife. We hung out in St. Louis for the Missouri game, and she had this beer. They were in Germany, Becky, and she had a boot. You know, they drink out of boots.
Oh, yes, the nice boot. Mm-hmm.
It was bigger than her. Like, seriously, she's about your size. And it was like this big. It was huge.
Excellent.
She drank the whole damn thing, which is, that's what I like to hear. That's the American spirit right there.
Well played.
Is there anything else we need to talk about tonight, Bex?
I'm
Alabama,
open.
number one seed. Potentially could play my mom's alma mater, Southeast Missouri State.
I forgot about that part.
Yes. It could be a big game.
Noted.
They got to play in Dayton first
Yes.
against Texas A&M Corpus Christi, I believe. Chris H. says Andrew, because earlier he said, oh, God, I can hear my wife.
Downstairs.
I can hear my wife like a subdivision away. He said... What did Chris say earlier, Bex? He said a fan or?
A fan, as in Andrew.
Oh, okay. He's an Andrew fan. Okay, I got you.
Well, we should all be.
Well, he's inoffensive.
He's a lovely kid.
He is. He's inoffensive, and, we're not... Inoffensive.
Come on, Jay.
He's inoffensive.
He's a lovely kid.
Let's see. Daniel P. says, have you guys ever seen the beer carrier you get for like 14 euros at Dortmund? It's like 6 pints for 14 euros.
Dude,
holy shit.
Nice.
I would do that.
Absolutely.
Hornatius is here. He's a big fan of yours, Becky.
Boy.
He says, shut it down. I don't know what that means.
Well, C. Haynes wants to chat with him anyway. So.
Wait, why? Here's the way I look at it this way. C. Haynes is a big fan of you. Hornatius is a big fan of you, so we're all good. What? We can get in the trust tree over that?
Yeah.
All right, I think we've said it all, guys. The Auburn Tigers, of course, going to play Iowa in the first round, and then they're bracketed with Houston in the second round. They're going to be playing in Birmingham. Alabama will also be in Birmingham, but they're not in Auburn's bracket. But that's still interesting. Yeah, we've taken a look at everything Iowa does. The general thing is that Iowa's pretty good around the bucket. They can score. Their defense is kind of ass. And they got a specific problem with transition defense, and Auburn is very good in transition attacking. So that is going to be something I would imagine Auburn is going to try to push tempo big time in this game. We'll see how that goes. We're going to have plenty of time to talk about this.
I would expect a lot of orange and blue in the facility for that.
True that. And then some Bammer. There will always, no matter where Auburn's playing, there's always going to be a Bammer there like dog cussing them.
Well, it doesn't necessarily need to be an Alabama alumni. It could be sidewalk alumni there.
True. Alabama
Again.
fan. We just call him a Bammer or whatever.
You're right.
And Hornatius jumps in here late as a peace offering. He says, I'm a C. Haynes fan.
Okay.
See,
I'm for it.
yeah, I mean, it's one of the great stories. I also got a super chat coming through from Kanuman. He says, Denton's mom is the GOAT guest. Wait a minute. What does that mean? Means Courtney is not?
It means in addition to Courtney. It doesn't mean in place of. It means in addition to Courtney.
Oh, in addition to Courtney.
Yes. Administrative assistant is always the GOAT. We
like-
all know that.
I'm a fan of you.
Well, agreed. And we're
fan.
all fans of the GOAT, administrative assistant.
Yeah, she's.
See, yeah.
But well, I can only speak for me, but I'm kind of scared of her. Are you scared of her at all? But she's not going to beat you up, though.
Most people are.
But she wouldn't beat you up.
No.
She would beat me up, but she
Yes.
wouldn't beat you up.
And yes. Agreed. Agreed on all counts.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, we got another super chat coming through from CJ. He says, best co-host. We love Denton's mom.
I try.
The problem is that we love having you on the show, but like we can't have you on the show sometimes because you're kind of
Agreed. Understood and noted.
bammy.
Again,
right?
understood and noted.
I mean, I think that I know that you're an Alabama graduate, so
Yes.
to me that means you're a fine person. Like
Again,
you're not,
but I do have, there is Auburn tendencies.
you don't necessarily love Auburn.
Well, but I do have a father that went there and a grandmother that was the first Miss Auburn.
I did not know
so
that.
there were
You probably
Auburn
told me that.
tendencies.
You probably told me that.
More than once.
You also have some family members that went to Virginia, though, right?
Do, yes.
Yes. Various fine institutions, by the way. Let's see. Casa DP has a super chat coming through. It's really weird. We had a problem there for like months where the chat would not show up fast enough here. Now the
Right.
chat shows up faster than what's going on over here. It's crazy.
Okay.
Casa DP, one of our favorites, a horse racing fan from the greater Atlanta metro area.
Oh, nice.
Becky. Says there's room at the brain drain table for both AA and Denton's mom.
Nice.
We'll give an applause for that one.
Absolutely.
We're
Good Cassidy.
fans. Oh my God. Why is my oh my God, Dave's trying to call me. He's one of my Dave Jones is one of my mentors, but I can't talk to him right now. He's a Penn State reporter.
Oh, on purpose?
Who are they? Yeah, who are they playing? They got in the tournament somehow.
They did get in the tournament.
I was shocked to see them in there. Let's see. Hornatius says, "Can we let Denton's mom and Courtney co-host, and Jay can get the fuck out of here?"
Oh!
What?
Many drinks to be had, maybe not so much sports to be spoken.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Uh-oh. I got a second super chat from Chris H. Becky. Look at this. No message offered, but we don't really need a
Probably
message
just
from him,
says
do
send
we?
her downstairs. She's had enough.
Have you?
There's been drinks.
There's been drinks had.
There's
Okay.
been drinks.
We're probably going to wrap it up there, although we do love Chris, and he's not a showstopper. He's a
No.
show starter, but
Absolutely.
but we love him there. Penn State plays Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. Really?
Oh, that's why he's calling me. He wants to get the scouting report on that. Texas A&M got a 7 seed, Becky.
Chris texted me. He's like, A&M
Dude,
got hosed.
Kentucky got a better seed. Arkansas got the same seed, and then Tennessee got a better seed.
He said A&M got hosed.
They did. They got hosed totally. Corey says, could Courtney and Denton's mom podcast be in the works? Becky, your thoughts?
I'd be for it.
Well, me and Courtney were talking about doing a bourbon show,
I recall.
and I think that you would be a good guest on there.
I would happily participate.
My issue is that I don't know if Chris would love that. I don't know if he would love doing that.
I don't think he'd have a problem.
No, he has a lot of knowledge. It's just like,
Yes.
would he like being on like a show though?
I don't think he'd mind.
Okay. He definitely knows a lot about bourbon. And Becky does too. Becky is not like just some girl who likes bourbon. Becky knows bourbon, talks bourbon, drinks bourbon.
I drink and I know things.
And you drink shit straight too, which I appreciate. You don't puss out.
I try.
No, you don't. I mean, you legitimately know a whole hell of a lot about bourbon. All right, we're going to wrap it up there, guys. We will do another show. Let's see. Auburn's playing on Thursday, I believe, 5:50-ish. Is that right? And we're going to have to talk about if we want to do a live show. We did some live shows in the 2019 season. They didn't work out very good because the game goes so fast, and I'm like 30 seconds behind you guys, and so it's just kind of like weird. But if we want to do an actual live show and just kind of live through this thing vicariously together, we can do that too. But I'll probably put a post on the bunker about that. One way or another, I will see you guys again on Thursday night, though. And so between now and then, please behave yourselves. Make great decisions out there. Let's be good Auburn people and just good people in general. That's all I'm asking. So appreciate you guys. The Super Chatters rule. Becky.
Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the
stars.
That was
not. You stole my line, but are there any final thoughts? I don't know if you had any final thoughts.
Other than that, no.
All right. Thank you, Becky, for being on the show with us. Chris was up here, but he wouldn't come on.
Really?
And Bill was on here earlier, and he wouldn't come on either. I don't know. Anyway, guys, keep your feet on the ground. Keep reaching for the stars. I love you guys. Peace. Let's make great decisions. See y'all.